minutes, Senator.
Okay. So the other matter I'd like to ask about is the former operators of Brindabella Christian College, which I think traded as Brindabella Christian College Education Limited. This company went into administration in March 2025, owing almost $24 million to creditors. And as I understand it, Deloitte, as liquidators, provided their statutory report to ASIC on the 6th of October and have also lodged a supplementary report. Can anyone confirm if that's correct?
Can you give us any information on that? We'll have to take that matter on notice, okay. Senator Pocock.
If you can take on notice what's happening there, but I guess along and this has been publicly reported. On this matter, though, I guess kind of going back to what we were just talking about with Consolidated Builders Limited, I've seen correspondence where whistleblowers at the school contacted ASIC in September 2021 about a range of concerns about BCEL, the board chair in particular, around financial viability, conduct of the chair and the board. And it now seems from the liquidator's report, all of these concerns were very well founded. And yet in your response, this is 4 years ago, we could have avoided a lot of pain for thousands of 1,000 students and their families. You say, we have considered all the information provided and conducted our own preliminary and confidential inquiries. Following careful consideration, we have decided not to escalate your concerns with another team or take further action at that time. It appears that that was not the right decision. Would you agree?
Senator, I can't agree to that last proposition. I'd have to look at that correspondence and get my team to look at it.
Maybe I'll notice then. But in general terms,
it might be helpful to repeat that in any single year we might get up to 10,000 reports of misconduct. We get thousands of reportable situations. We have to make judgments based on the information we're provided, the resources we have, the enforcement priorities we have. We cannot be everywhere. Now, in the matter that you've mentioned, I'm quite happy to take it on notice, and ASIC will review the correspondence from 4 years ago. We're not briefed this evening to be able to give you a substantive answer, but we will take your question with great respect and look at it seriously, and we'll answer it in that way, and we'll take it from there.
I mean, it just seems like in the other case they basically got the same response, and now we know with Brindabella there were enormous issues that felt very squarely in ASIC's domain, and you just kind of fobbed it off and said, yeah, sorry, but this is not something we're going to look into. So what steps will you take to actually review this and learn from it?
Well, a couple of points. We will review it and respond, as I've said, on a question on notice. But I hope I'm not saying anything new in saying there are thousands of matters.
You've made that very clear.
And there will be thousands more where we will not take action because we don't think it's appropriate to, given our enforcement priorities, our responsibilities and our mandate and the resources we have. We are not resourced. It is not the role of the regulator to save every business from loss, every creditor from loss, and every shareholder from loss. That is not the role of the regulator. Now, I know that's an inconvenient sort of proposition, but I really want you to know that we take extremely seriously everything that's brought to our attention, and then we have to make judgment calls as to about what we'll take action on and what we won't. It doesn't mean any disrespect to people who've lost their money or to people who have concerns. I'm just trying to be realistic and honest with the committee.
But Mr Longo, when it comes to Brindabella, since you replied and said, oh, sorry, we're not going to investigate, they received $40 million worth of Commonwealth money in that time.
Yes.
Ended up with a massive debt. All of the concerns that were raised with you turn out to be true. And so I understand you take 10,000, reports of misconduct. Surely you're not getting that many from schools where you have like very good evidence that's laid out. I've seen the letters. And so I just have real concerns when I'm having all these, seem like very good cases that fall squarely in ASIC's remit, and you just sort of just fobbing them off like, not our job. We get thousands. We take on a few hundred.
It's not my intent to fob them off, Senator.
That's
but
what
it is my intent to
them.
explain the system. And the letters are not evidence. Letters are not evidence. And I absolutely accept people lose money. They have problems as a shareholder. But we are not in a position to take on every cause of every person, including Christian colleges. I'm sorry to be so frank, but it is a realistic statement of fact. And so I'm happy to ask my team to write to you or to the committee and provide more detail and elaboration of how we go about choosing matters for investigation. But the people in Australia will continue to lose money from investments for whatever reason, and there'll be many situations where ASIC will not be able to intervene. We are not able to make people whole. That is the practical reality. Now, I certainly wouldn't want you to think we're fobbing people off. That is, I reject that characterisation. We have a very dedicated team that look at reports of misconduct. We're constantly reviewing our systems and processes. In fact, even recently, we've had an uptick in reports of misconduct because we've made it easier for people to tell us about them. We've made improvements to our website. So I think I really don't want you thinking we're fobbing anybody off. That's not how we feel.
That's not how I feel. That's how they feel.
Okay, we're going to have to move on.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We'll go back to Senator Bragg if you want to